Good evening and welcome to the March I-10 Connect Informational Public Meeting. I'm Jennifer Wright with the Texas Department of Transportation. Joining me is Martin Bartlett of Barracuda Public Relations. Behind the scenes we have Joe Nahara, and I believe we're going to be joined by some engineers from the project. We'll wait and see if they can work out their technical issues. So taking all the pressure off me, Martin tonight will go through an overview of the project. He will talk about upcoming closures, what to expect, how we got here. He'll talk about that backup on I-10 and entertain any questions. So any questions you have, please feel free to enter them into the Facebook chat, or you can email them to info@i10connectelpaso.com. Martin?
Absolutely. Again, we are here tonight to talk a little bit about the I-10 Connect project, which of course is adding those additional direct connectors from I-10 to Loop 375 at the Spaghetti Bowl. Let's go ahead and dive right on into talking about the I-10 Connect project and talk a little bit about kind of some background on the project, just to remind folks in case maybe this is your first time joining us at this monthly community meeting. Again, the first Tuesday of every month, we are here live on Facebook and the project website to talk through the latest construction changes for the I-10 Connect project. And these meetings up until about March of last year were held live in person. And so we still want to hear from you. As Jennifer mentioned, it's still an interactive opportunity to get your questions answered. So post a comment on the Facebook Live if you're watching us on Facebook. If you're watching us on the project website, feel free to join us or send us an email, info@i10connectelpaso.com. All right, so let's dive on into the project, provide some information about who's working on this project. Of course, the Texas Department of Transportation is the owner of this project, but SUNT is the general contractor for this project. Consor is providing the construction management and inspection services for this project. KCI, Kennedy Consulting, actually drew up the plans for the project, and Barracuda Public Relations, the firm for which I work here in El Paso, is assisting TxDOT with the public involvement during the construction phase. Let's talk a little bit about this project by the numbers. We always want to go over this because this is kind of the high level view of the project. A $96 million project. Construction began all the way more than 2 years ago now, February of 2019, and a total of 3 years were allocated for completion of this project. So as you can see, we have passed the halfway point. There is light at the end of the tunnel. For many weeks and months, we were talking about roads closing. We are at a point where we're talking a lot about roads opening now, which is very exciting. So again, that's just kind of the overview of the project, a little bit about kind of the numbers, by the numbers. Let's take a look at some of the photos that will, or rather the renderings that will, I think, provide some important context on this project. What you see right now is a rendering looking high above the Spaghetti Bowl. We're facing south, so Ciudad Juarez is at the top of the screen. Northeast El Paso would be at the bottom. Downtown would be off to the right. Lower Valley would be off to the left. Everything you see on this map that is shaded in blue is a new ramp, either a replacement of an old ramp or brand new construction. And a lot of what you see now there has been constructed. And we'll actually take a look at some drone photos here in a moment to show you exactly what of those items has been constructed. But this really gives a very clear picture of the main goal of this project. The main goal of this project is to better connect I-10 and Loop 375 at Center City. Going to head south a little bit. Right now, we've turned the camera 180 degrees. We're above the Chamizal, so the Bridge of the Americas at the bottom of the screen, the Spaghetti Bowl at the top, downtown off to the left in this image, the Coliseum and the zoo off to the right. There you see, and this is where a lot of the work is focused right now, I-110, that short freeway spur coming in and out of the Bridge of the Americas, running top to bottom. US 62, Paisano Drive, running east to west. The big difference in this part of the project is changing, or rather removing access from Paisano Drive to the Bridge of the Americas. We have all been down there for years as trucks waited along those neighborhoods, blocking neighborhoods, causing just a real mess for neighbors and folks in that area along Paisano Drive. So when this project is complete, no access from Paisano to the Bridge of the Americas. We're going to take a look now. We're going to fly you through the project and also take a look at some driver's eye views. And we'll talk a little bit about what you will see from those renderings that has already been built and what has not quite been built yet. All right. So again, this is going to look a lot like that rendering we showed you a moment ago. This is, again, we're high above the spaghetti bowl looking south. You'll see these ramps begin to be highlighted in blue. The ramps you are going to see now, that I-10 westbound to Loop 375 direct connector that you see being highlighted now, ramps going down to the Bridge of the Americas, many of those have been constructed. Right now, where you see that flag proposed I-10 westbound to Port of Entry, that is the ramp that many of you are using to get from I-10 to Juarez. We're going to fly south, continuing as we head further down. And what you'll notice, and we'll talk about this more with a drone photo here in a moment, when the project is complete, Interstate 110, that short freeway spur heading to the bridge, will maximize out to a total of 5 southbound lanes, 3 for autos, 2 for trucks. It's not like that right now, but just to kind of have in the back of your mind that what you're seeing out there now along 110 is not what will be the final configuration when all is said and done. Again, now we're looking at the Paisano Drive I-110 interchange there near the Chamizal, traffic going east and west on Paisano with no access down to the bridge. All right, so what we're gonna do now is take a drive on a ramp that doesn't exist. We are gonna go from I-10 to the lower valley. So what you're gonna see right now, this ramp where this silver SUV is presently has not yet been constructed. It's under construction right now as we speak. When it is completed, traffic will be able to do what this silver SUV is doing, head off to the right to go directly to the Bridge of the Americas, or do what we're gonna do, kind of sneak over onto US 54 southbound and head all the way down to Loop 375. So let's say you're coming from downtown, you wanna get maybe home to the lower valley, you can just go ahead, transition pretty seamlessly from I-10 to Loop 375. Let's say there's an accident out there near the mall. This will allow you to bypass that traffic. Here we have an exit to Paisano Drive. That exit remains open, but remember, if you take that Paisano exit, you can get to the Chamizal, you can get to the zoo, but you can't get to the Bridge of the Americas. All right, this is gonna be one that a lot of folks will have direct experience with. Again, this ramp where this red SUV is has just recently opened. This is the direct connector from westbound I-10 heading south towards the Bridge of the Americas. So this red SUV is driving on a ramp that is now open to traffic. As we begin to approach this sign, what you'll notice, this ramp that goes off to the left that takes you to US 54 has not yet been open to traffic, but we're going to continue on this ramp heading down towards the Bridge of the Americas. Again, this ramp has been open to traffic, so you can go out there, see this in real life for yourself right now. As we continue approaching towards the Bridge of the Americas, again, what you'll notice in terms of the difference between the rendering and the difference between reality is the rendering shows more lanes than are open right now. That's because, again, I-110 confined to just 2 southbound lanes because of construction. But there you see widening out to a total of 5 lanes as you get down towards the bridge when the project is finally complete. So a big difference, a big temporary difference between what you see now and what will eventually be the case when all is said and done. So that's just kind of an overview of the project. We're going to talk through some closures that are coming up, and then we'll get back into some ideas for how you can do your part to help alleviate that congestion that we've all seen at the Bridge of the Americas. First thing we want to share with you, a complete closure of Copia Street at San Antonio began on Monday morning, and it will continue until further notice. The reason this is necessary, giving crews a little more room to work down there at that Paisano interchange. They are removing an absolutely amazing amount of work to reconfigure that interchange. They need a little more room to work safely, to work efficiently. So again, Copia Street from San Antonio to Paisano closed to all traffic. Copia closed to through traffic from Alameda down to San Antonio. You can still get to all those businesses up and down Copia, but if you're trying to get from Copia to Paisano, you'll need to follow that green detour, Alameda out to Piedras Street. Again, that began on Monday and will remain the case until further notice. All right, the next closure we have is a one-night closure that's going to impact a lot of you. We really want to get this on everybody's radar. Circle this on your calendar for Thursday night. Thursday night, Interstate 110, that short freeway spur leading from I-10 and US 54 to the Bridge of the Americas, will be closed to all traffic beginning at 9 p.m. The bottom line is that is the only road to the Bridge of the Americas, and crews have to close it to do some overhead work along Interstate 110. So this is one of those things We know it is inconvenient. We know it is not ideal, but there is just absolutely no way around it to complete the project. So on Thursday night after 9 p.m. until 6 a.m. on Friday morning, all access heading from El Paso to the Bridge of the Americas will be closed. So at that time, you will have to find another port of entry to if you're trying to cross from the U.S. into Mexico. So think Santa Teresa, think downtown, think Isleta. Again, that will only be 9 p.m. Thursday to 6 a.m. on Friday morning. Again, we recognize how inconvenient that is, but just know that on Thursday, if you're heading to Juarez, you will need to plan an alternate route. So that's kind of a hiccup, kind of an unpleasant but short-term impact on I-110 heading towards the Bridge of the Americas. But we've heard from a lot of you about maybe a little bit of, we'll call it a longer-term inconvenience heading down to the Bridge of the Americas. We have heard from many of you about backups heading down to the bridge, whether you're on, say, US 54 southbound, you would use that, what you see there, a yellow ramp to get straight to the bridge. Again, green is coming from, say, Cielo Vista Mall towards the Bridge of the Americas. Those two ramps, yellow and green, are open, and that's where we're seeing a lot of the backups. The reason we're seeing a lot of that backup, again, this photo looking to the north, so Northeast El Paso at the top of the screen, downtown off to the left side of the screen, Cielo Vista Mall off to the right, the Bridge of the Americas behind us. Again, all traffic trying to get to Juarez right now via the Bridge of the Americas is using that yellow ramp, which is new, using that green ramp, which is new. And the reason they're having to use those two ramps is because that purple ramp and that blue ramp are still under construction. So unfortunately, all of that I-10 traffic is using that green ramp to get down to the Bridge of the Americas. Something that, again, very inconvenient, a little bit longer lasting, say, than that one night closure of I-110. But again, know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. When those purple and blue ramps reopen, we expect some relief. We also talked about how I-110 close to the Bridge of the Americas is reduced to only 2 lanes right now. So once those lanes open, we expect some relief in terms of traffic as it continues moving south towards the Bridge of the Americas. But as we mentioned, good news, there is something you can do when you head to Juarez next time to possibly help alleviate that congestion. Again, if you're going westbound I-10, it's easy. You can take that Juarez exit, exit 22B, and keep left. If you're heading eastbound on I-10, you have to go all the way down to the Trowbridge turnaround, then get on I-10 west and use that exit 22B. But we're really going to encourage you, consider an alternate route to the bridge. Consider accessing the bridge from southbound US 54. This will allow you to take that brand new exit, exit 21B, which will take you directly to Juarez over I-10. We have a little bit more information on exactly how you can do your part to help alleviate that congestion.
Are you doing your part to reduce congestion at the Spaghetti Bowl? While this new direct connector ramp from westbound I-10 to Juarez is now open, it's handling more than its fair share of traffic, because this ramp from eastbound I-10 to Juarez is still under construction. That's contributing to these backups at the Spaghetti Bowl. So if you're heading from I-10 to Juarez, consider this alternate route. Take exit 22B from westbound I-10. Rather than veering left to use the new Juarez ramp, veer right to the northbound US 54. Then take the Pershing turnaround to southbound US 54. Continue to the new southbound direct connector to Juarez. This will help spread out the traffic rather than concentrating it on one ramp. Here's the good news. We don't expect it to be this way forever. While it will eventually include a maximum of 5 southbound lanes leading to the Bridge of the Americas, southbound I-110 is currently reduced to only 2 lanes during construction. And this ramp from eastbound I-10 to Juarez will open later this year. Here are 2 other important things to remember. There still may be delays at the bridge associated with inspections at the international border, and the primary goal of the I-10 Connect project is to create new direct connections between I-10 at Loop 375, not necessarily reduce wait times at the bridge. While using an alternate route to get to the bridge won't solve everything, it's something each of us can do to help reduce congestion at the Spaghetti Bowl. Because we're not in traffic, we are traffic. For the Texas Department of Transportation, I'm Jennifer Wright.
Again, a really important way to kind of change the way we think about traffic. It's not something that we are subject to, it's something we participate in, so we can all do our part to help alleviate it as best we can. Again, that alternate route going through the purging turnaround was something that we used for many months. Again, if you approach that ramp to Juarez coming westbound on I-10 and you see that it's backed up, just go ahead, save yourself a little bit of time and go ahead, head north on US 54, use that purging turnaround, and then come south on US 54 heading to Juarez. And again, we want to talk a little bit about why some of this is the case. You're looking, you can see a drone image taken from high above the project. You can see so much work going on in that area. Those two lanes really just kind of like a narrow sliver of asphalt heading through the work zone. So again, just remember that is kind of a contributing factor to all of this, is that it's awfully narrow getting through there, awfully congested, trying to get the work done as quickly as possible and as safely as possible. But again, we want to remind you there is light at the end of the tunnel. This is what the eventual configuration of I-110 will look like. There you see, again, 2 southbound lanes for trucks, 3 southbound lanes for autos there at the widest heading into the Bridge of the Americas. So again, light at the end of the tunnel. In the meantime, there is something, again, that we can all do. Consider that alternate route heading up to US 54 northbound, then come southbound on US 54, take exit 21B, and keep right to Juarez. So again, just remember there is a little something we can all do. Consider staggering your travel times. All the tricks of the trade will probably help you navigate through this one as well as you can. Again, we recognize that that is an inconvenience associated with this project, but one of the things we always say, an anecdote to inconvenience is information, and we want to give you that information however you want to get it. One of those, of course, we are happy to provide bilingual text message alerts to phone numbers on both sides of the border. Just go to i10connectelpaso.com, sign up. We will send you a text message in English or in Spanish, whichever you prefer, letting you know when there are major closures. So, for example, if you sign up, you're probably going to get a text message on Thursday reminding you that I-110 closed to all southbound traffic at the bridge. Also, another way to stay up to date on changes is to go to the website, or rather give us a call on our project hotline, 855-463-1010. We've gotten a lot of questions there, and we're happy to answer any question you have. Even if it's just, how do I get to Juarez? What's the right way to go? What's the detour route? We're more than happy to answer those questions. So again, lots of ways to get information about this project. And we do encourage your patience, because we've been through the lion's share of this project. There is light at the end of the tunnel. But we will, of course, continue informing you through all of those electronic means we mentioned. We're also more than happy to have you join us here for our community meetings the first Tuesday of every month. So that means the next meeting would be Tuesday, April 6th, if you can believe it. April 6th, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. at i10connectelpaso.com. Jennifer?
Thank you, Martin. That's quite illuminating. And it is amazing to think that we're already headlong into March. If you're watching this live, or you're watching it the week of March 1st, remember that Thursday night closure, complete closure of I-110 headed into Mexico. You're going to have to find another route. And we also have some issues at the Zaragoza point of entry right now, because we've opened up the Wind Road spur that will take truck traffic off of the queue on the Loop 375 there and puts it around Wind Road. But people are still getting used to that this week. And so it is a little bit difficult. And we do expect that that will be not necessarily your best bet. So if you are not a truck driver, you may want to pay for crossing the bridge on this week until everybody gets that figured out. The project is going along quite nicely, and it was projected to be perhaps a 3-year project, and it looks like it is going to come in finishing up closer to 2.5 years, which is really the good news. Crews are working at multiple locations at once. It's a lot of structures going on in this project, some roadway, but a lot of it is structure. And so just know that they are being very aggressive with the schedule. And while it is difficult right now, we just will see light at the end of the tunnel. And again, as Martin said, it's not really to speed up traffic at the bridge, but it does separate out traffic bound from Juarez earlier on, so that, and allows more storage for those vehicles. And it does, if you're headed somewhere else, you will not get caught in that traffic that is heading southbound and could be facing delays at the southbound clearance facility there. We have joining us our West Area Office Engineer, Mo Mobad, and I'm springing this on him. If Mo, you do have anything that you'd like to add, I guess we have one of the questions that came in is, when is this thing going to be finished? I think we're having, oh, Mo, I think you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Thank you, Mo.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, the project is really scheduled for September of 2021 completion. But I think based on what we're looking at the project, right now this month, we are 75% completed. So that might be a couple of months earlier than September. So we might finish it hopefully by end of July. So, but we're shooting for this. We're trying to finish this best, as fast as we can. And one of the things I want to say, we want to thank our customers. Really, this is the best place we ever worked at. Customers are very friendly and they're very supportive of the project, and they understand the inconvenience that we're causing them is temporary, and we're trying to get out of the project as fast as we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. Do we have any other questions that you can see in the chat, or did any come in to the info@i10connectelpaso.com?
Not during the course of the meeting, but I do think you're exactly right. The big question was the one that you just posed to Mo about when's it going to be over. So some good news there too.
Terrific. Well, if there's nothing else, I think we can wrap this up. Remember, you can join us again the first Tuesday of April, and we'll have our next meeting of the I-10 Connect public informational meetings. And in the meantime, if you need anything, just go to i10connectelpaso.com. There's all kinds of ways to get your questions answered, including the phone number where you can just call directly and ask Martin anything. For the Texas Department of Transportation, I'm Jennifer Wright. Thank you, Mo Mobad. Thank you, Martin Bartlett. And thank you, Joe Naheda behind the scenes. Appreciate you, all of you.